Hey Lobos, Ben Johnson here to show you how to get your classes up and online with the Google Classroom. Of all the options that you have, this is going to be the easiest one. I want to go ahead and start in Google Drive first, because if you go with this option, you're going to want to start moving your materials into Google Drive, because that's where everything will be pulled from. If you've not used Google Drive yet, the way that you get there is you just go to drive.google.com. There will be a login screen. You'll log in with your PSD email and your PSD password, and that will get you into a screen that looks like this one. Of course, yours will be empty. But in order to start moving some of your files from the school server, the first thing you'll want to do is click on this cog and go to the settings and make sure that this convert uploaded files to Google Docs editor format is checked. And that way when you bring up your Word docs and PowerPoints, they get converted to the equivalent Google file type. Then I'll hit done. And then in terms of moving things up over from the server, you're just going to hit the new, and you can do things one at a time with file upload, or you could bring up an entire folder by doing the folder upload. And ultimately what will happen is that your Google Drive will fill with folders like this, matching what you have on the server, and all of your files will go into those folders, and this will become essentially your new server. So that's first step, is to start getting your files moved over. Alternatively, you can just start by making new files, new Google Docs, new Google Slides. Honestly, I haven't used the server at Rocky for the last 7 years, so there's really no need to have your files there any longer. Anyway, once you've done that, then you're ready to go to Google Classroom and begin making a Google class. To do that, you click on the 3x3 waffle grid over here, and you just go to Classroom. This looks like an old-fashioned chalkboard, I guess. I'm not sure. And that will take you to Google Classroom, and the address is just classroom.google.com. You can always go there directly using that URL. And I always recommend that you use Google Chrome when you're using the Google Suite. That's just going to work better. You may not have any classes yet, so you probably have a red plus sign in the middle of your screen, if I remember correctly, and you'll want to just go ahead and click on that. Once you have classes, that little plus sign moves to the upper right, and what you want to do is create a class. If you're not seeing create a class, you might be in Google Classroom as a student. In that case, you can send me an email and I'll help get you converted over to a teacher. When your students go here, they'll hit join class, and they'll type in the class code that you'll give them, and I'll show you that in a second. So anyway, just to repeat, we've gone to classroom.google.com. We hit the plus button either in the middle of our screen or the upper right, and we're just going to create a class. And I'm just going to call this practice class P2. And you can make a class for each period or each prep. I prefer each period just to keep my students separated, but if you'd like to save some time, you can make one class for one prep. It'll just be more cumbersome because there will be more students in that one class. So I'll hit create, and Google is creating a Google Classroom for me right now. Ultimately, all my materials and everything that I make for this class will go here. A few things that you might want to change right off the bat is select a different theme if you don't like this one. And you can pick your subject and then pick a theme and select that. So not really important, but nice to have something that matches your subject. The more important piece is this class code here. I'll just blow this up so you can see it. So what you're going to want to do is actually copy this code, and you're going to send that code to your students, and the easiest way to accomplish that is through the PSD gradebook. You go to the home menu and then you go to communication, and that will give you an easy way to email both your students and their parents. And so I would do that early on in this first week of the quarter. And so you'll just tell them to go to classroom.google.com and to join with this code, and all of the students will already be familiar with this because they've been using it for so long, and that will then put them into your class. So I'll go ahead and close that up. So once you've made your class, now you're ready to begin adding materials, and like I said, it's going to work best if you've added those to your Google Drive, but I'll just demo how that would work. So you have these tabs across the top, and you're going to just go to the classwork tab, and you'll just begin by creating probably materials at first, like your syllabus. And so I'll just type in syllabus, and it might be helpful to type in a description, and then ultimately you'll hit add. And this is where, if you've added things to your Google Drive, it will be really fast and convenient. If not, you can upload those files from your server using this file link. And so I'll just do Google Drive, and if I already know that I have a syllabus that I've named syllabus, I can just go ahead and type that in and bring that up quickly. So I'll just pick this syllabus and I'll add that to my class. Now, to keep it organized, I recommend using these topics over here, and so you can just make a new topic for all the major parts of your class. So I'll just put getting started, and then I'll put all my things like my syllabus, expectations, whatever you have there. And I think at this point I've got everything I need. If I want to upload this to multiple classes, I can just click on this drop down and check all the different classes that I teach. And now I'm ready to go ahead and post that. And so now I've done my first item here, my syllabus for my students to read. As I'm ready to add more and more things, I can create now maybe an assignment. And maybe this one is a worksheet, so I'll just maybe call this Unit 1 Astronomy Worksheet. And it's nice to maybe number these things so that you can reference them in emails and things. And of course I'd want to type some instructions here because I won't see my students face to face, so that would be helpful. And you'll just come down here and hit that add button. And again, if you've uploaded that worksheet to your Google Drive, it will be really quick and easy. Otherwise you can attach files, Word docs, that sort of thing from the server, but I'll just do Google Drive, and I'll just find some file in my Google Drive called worksheet that I've put there previously. And let's see, I'll just add this this worksheet. And if you want students to be able to edit this like a paper worksheet that you would pass out in class where it says students can view file, you want to choose students can make a copy for each student. You want to choose make a copy for each student, and then each student will be able to type on their copy just as if they had a paper worksheet in front of them. I believe that those will need to be Google Doc files in order for that functionality to appear there. And again, I want to put it in a topic, and so I'll create a topic so it keeps my class organized, and I'll just call this Unit 1. Can give it points possible, and I can put a due date on there to help prevent students from procrastinating too much. So I'll just do March 27th at midnight. And once you're satisfied with that, you'll just hit your assign button. Alright, and then as students turn work in, you'll be able to see those submissions come in. Here the number turned in will go up, and you'll be able to click and open and grade those and assign points right here in your Google Classroom. Okay, so this is just a real quick, easy way to get started with moving your class online. It's worked really well for almost all the teachers that I know that have used it. I think largely because it's just really easy to do. There's not a ton of bells and whistles, and that's what makes it easy for teachers to adopt. So I'll add more videos about Google Classroom as the quarter goes on, but this one is just a real quick how to get started with Google Classroom. Thanks for watching.